Hello YouTube, Mewtwo here. I've just finished my Alex Kidd playthrough, which I somewhat did as an unofficial celebration of Alex's 25th anniversary. I figured Sega were a bit preoccupied with another anniversary, and that is of course Sonic's 20th. And it is natural that Sega would want to commemorate their main mascot becoming 20 years old this year. And in many ways, as a Sonic and Sega fan for 20 years myself, it would be remiss not to touch upon the subject of Sonic Generations. And I've seen several discussions. Well, what do people think of it? Is it going to be good? There's a lot of hype. But I can't help but feel we've been here before. And it's what I like to call the Sonic hype cycle. It typically goes that Sega announce a new Sonic game. They say that this time Sonic's going back to basics. Some interesting, perhaps even retro-looking content is shown in an early stage of development, and excitement grows. You see the first trailer, and there is this, could it be? Maybe this time? Excitement grows some more. And then the game is released, and it's either padded out with stupid animal friends, or bad controls, or just filler sections that people aren't interested in, or they're just maybe not. It's just meh. Not bad necessarily, but not great. And the excitement is killed. At the end, everyone says, I'm done with Sonic. No more Sonic games from me. And then the cycle repeats when Sega announces the next Sonic game. I suppose this has been very prominent in the last year or so, if you ask me. Just over probably 18 months ago, Sega announced Project Needlemouse. And there was a lot of what's it going to be, rumours of maybe a reboot or a remake of the first game, and lots of stuff going around. Especially when they were talking about it as Project Needlemouse, it would make you think it was going to involve Sonic 1. But lo and behold, to a lot of people's surprise, they brought out Sonic 4. Or Sonic 4 Episode 1. Now, when I first seen Sonic 4, I was intrigued. This was the first time they were directly saying this is the sequel to the Genesis Mega Drive games. And they started talking about Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and how that was in some ways episodic, and that they wanted to take the tale of Sonic 4 and the kind of core mechanics and follow on from that. So you would see a kind of the true next generation 2D Sonic game. And when I got Sonic 4, it was something that had piqued my interest through trailers. I had a few reservations. I wasn't too sure about the mechanics, but perhaps it's the Sonic fan in me that I wanted to like it. I wanted the next great Sonic game. So sure enough, I plunked down my money and it was okay. But that's where it nearly falls into the excitement killed section of the cycle. It wasn't great. It didn't really feel like it captured the essence of the classic games. It felt like it was going through the motions. It was just an attempt to masquerade as if it was a true sequel. And perhaps most surprising, at least to me, is that it was episodic, engine-based game. Surely they're going to be bringing out several episodes, and probably in relatively quick succession, say a few months between each title. And here we are, over a year since its release date, and there hasn't been another Sonic 4 episode at all. Now apparently they're still interested in making one, but we have seen nothing of it so far. Instead, this year's Sonic game, this year's Sega hype cycle, is on Sonic Generations. And after I played Sonic 4, to be fair to it, while I was a little bit disappointed, it was probably the least disappointed I've been of any Sonic game. I liked a few of the handheld games. Pretty much though, since the 16-bit days, I found them lacking. But even so, at the end, I was like, I don't know. I gave Sonic Colors a miss for a start, and people said it was surprisingly good. But when I seen the teaser trailer then for Sonic Generations, as if history is just bound to repeat, I was captivated. Like it's the perfect example of a teaser trailer. What does it mean? What's going on? Captures you with a few seconds of essentially marketing ploy. There's no content there other than the two Sonics, and that doesn't tell you anything really. But sure enough, Sega had me hooked again. Maybe they know that it's Sonic. They have to do very little to get me hooked. All they have to do is somewhat make some sort of connection in some pseudo way to the original games, and I'll be interested. The Sonic fans seem to be a relatively die-hard bunch, and I would say that compared to a lot of gamers, able to take a lot of disappointment in their franchise. And I've been following the Sonic Generations trailers, and I must say I am excited. The most excited I've been for a Sonic game probably since Sonic 4 actually, which doesn't sound that long ago, but Sonic 4 was a bit of a blip, and even then I feel I'm more excited about Sonic Generations than Sonic 4. I'm hoping that they've learned the lessons, and that they have not only tried to kind of ape the 2D, style or masquerade as a classic, but actually learn to make good retro style Sonic, but also make this modern Sonic component engaging. I mean, one of the big failings of many of the 3D games is that there's some entertaining parts, such as say the Sonic levels where he'd be running fast through the opening level in say Sonic Adventure 1 or Sonic Adventure 2. It's very thrilling. You're running away from like a whale or off the truck in Sonic Adventure 2, and then it kind of goes downhill. But this time the content seems much more compelling, and they have tapped the history, it appears to be, effectively. Of course I won't know that until we play it, and that's where in many ways there is a bit of apprehension. Will it really live up to the expectation? And this is the first time I've actually been this apprehensive. I've been more optimistic in the past, but perhaps it's burned too many times. Nevertheless, Sonic Generations is certainly a game I'm going to play when I get around to it. It'll probably be Christmas time, or sometime where I have a bit of holiday period where I can sit down and properly play. I may even play more than one version, because the console and the 3DS version I believe are going to be different. It's an interesting way of doing things. Not too sure how I feel about it, but at least it'll give 3DS owners something of an exclusive title or a claim to pick that version up versus say the PS3 or Xbox version. And I'm hopeful, as is always the case with a Sonic fan, that this time that they'll turn the table around, that the excitement and the hype will actually lead to a good game, a game that doesn't just end up going, meh, it was alright. And I don't know, is it a case that as a Sonic fan always wanting that to be true, and that next time around, even if this one flops again, that Sega can bring up Sonic Colored Generations Episode 2, seriously, this is retro, cool look, and people will buy it. I don't know. But I said maybe just being a sucker, but I'll give Sega another chance. Probably another chance and another chance and another chance. So here's to you, Sonic, 20 years old and still perhaps going strong. And yeah, even if you had some weak spots, there is classic games in the series, and Sega haven't forgotten you, and you can tell that with the Sonic Generations Collector's Edition and things like that. So hopefully people will probably start knowing by the time this video goes up that it's either good or not so good, and we can all hope that they got it right this time. So thanks for watching, and hopefully you will have good experiences with Sonic Generations and not have the disappointing end to the Sonic hype cycle.